Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the season 3 finale of Knights of Eveningstar. I'm your Dungeon Master, Mark SherlockHulmes. Welcome, friends. You may know me from various places across the internet, but more importantly, you're going to know these 4 amazing individuals from other places on the internet. I am joined by Nate Sharp, Mica Burton, Anna Prosser, and Jonathan Indovino, aka ShadyPenguinn. Hello. Hello, my friends. How are
Hello.
we?
I like when you say my name, Mark. My name sounds better with a British accent because
Everything sounds better.
it's British by heritage, so it's supposed to be said that way.
I always want to say Prosler. I don't know why, but it's Anna Prosser. It's I can imagine it as like a lady of a manor house. Like, oh yes, this is Lady Prosser's property.
Ooh.
You know, very Downton Abbey. I kind of get like a big vibe from.
Cool. Yeah, probably that was what it was.
And then you'd have Lord Indovino, the Spanish count who would come
yes.
over and to be some sort of or Italian count.
There we go. Thank you. Listen, my Indovino means 2 things: fortune teller, which is amazing, and it means in the vine. Yes,
in the vine. That's how I would know.
They're one with large vineyard is apparently what I was originally told when I was born, and I found out it's fortune teller, which is honestly cooler, even though I like wine a lot. But yeah, fortune tellers are dope.
Both are pretty dope, yeah. And I can see it very, a Count Indovino, a Count of the Vine.
Count Indovino does sound very good.
All right, I'm moving, guys. This was a good show. I'll see you guys.
Bye.
If you ever LARP, go for that kind of strong vibe. Or Ren Fair, go for an Italian Renaissance Count. Anyway, once again, Night's Evening starts off with a complete tangent of ideas.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Everyone is well. Nate, Mica, all good? Excellent.
I'm also good, Mark. Thanks for asking.
Well, we talked about the name thing. That was what I counted on.
He asked us.
I know.
Okay.
I was just offering information.
Well, DM asked.
Well. Anna's taking a sip. As I mentioned, this is actually going to be the season 3 finale. It's a bit of a short season because Candlekeep is a bit of a shorter adventure, and it's going to be a nice rounding off point for the season. But Anna, do you want to tell folks what that means?
Yes, I would love to tell folks what that means. So that means we're going to be on a bit of an extended break because Mr. Nathan Sharp, aka NateWantsToBattle at NateWantsToBattle.com/tour is going on a musical rock show tour of the country, and it will be difficult for him to play from there. So we are going on a brief break, but because you guys keep tweeting at Wizards and saying you love the show, and you keep showing up and watching the show with your eyeballs or watching the VODs on YouTube, all of those things tell Wizards that you like this show, and they're like, wow, if they like it, we should continue to do it. So they've renewed us for season 4. Woo-hoo! Yay! So we will be back after tour, but it will be kind of a long while. So,
which is going to be good because I feel like, obviously season 3, we've played through my adventure in Candlekeep Mysteries, but that has been a step away from the kind of whole point of the campaign, which is to have more of this kind of like town management, lords and nobles, forging alliances, politics kind of thing. Going back into season 4, we're going to be going back to Eveningstar. We're going to be building on some of that stuff, and maybe some of the stuff that happened in season 1 and some of season 2 is going to kind of come back in. I think like it's, taking it back to the roots of the campaign.
Yeah, we'll be really lonely though, so be sure to keep us company online and talk to us about our characters.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Draw more awesome fan art as well.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the fan art has been amazing.
Super
you artists cool. are incredible.
But yeah, so season 4 coming soon after our little break while Nate goes on tour. But that means that today it's the last episode of season 3, and boy howdy, what a situation, what a pickle we find ourselves in. If you guys are ready to play some Dungeons and Dragons, I have a little recap, and then we're gonna jump straight back into it.
So ready.
Marvelous. Our heroes of Eveningstar have found themselves in a struggle against the fetid gaze coven, a trio of powerful hags who have taken over the Temple of the Restful Lily Spa in the guise of 3 elven sisters. After discovering their blade captain, Elissa, had gone to see the trio for one of their special rituals, the party's rescue attempt turned sour, With Clive being captured, Alyssa placed under some terrible curse, and the rest of the party fleeing to the temple's bathhouse in the protection of the water spirit Cyrena. However, with many of their minions destroyed and some clever deception and checks and manipulation from Tarkhal and Azara, the hags' loyalties have fractured and uneasy alliances are being made between the party and at least some members of the coven. How much can they be trusted, however? Can the curse on Alyssa and the other victims of the hags be lifted? Will the wonderful spa ever return to its peaceful nature? That is what we are going to find out in today's episode. To kind of briefly describe where things stand at the moment, we are currently caught between the bathhouse, the temple itself, this beautiful white stone, luxurious resort building, a small pathway, and the circular tower that the hags seem to use as their residence, where Clive was being held capture. Behind a section of trees, you can also see the ruined shrine of Suni, where you had battled the Medusa that resided beneath it as well. We currently have Clive surrounded at this point by a stone statue of an animated elf. One of the hags, called Greenbones, Auntie Greenbones, a kind of woody, dryad-like blinded hag, as well as Vile Saza, who is this powerful, strong, muscular hag who stands over them. Whilst Tarkhal, Azara, and Agnis are all crowded around the window of the bathhouse, having broken it to escape. And one of the hags, Dread Morgan, previously known as Morgana, has engaged them in some light conversation, perhaps to forge something of an alliance, as well as a hellhound that has bounded up to engage in a battle with them. Previously, I was running 3 separate combats. We're going to kind of reset things a bit, and we are going to re-roll initiatives to get everybody on the same sort of page, which, you know, does break things a little bit because there was a set order of things and stuff like that. But we're going to re-roll these initiatives, and we're going to basically take things from there. That doesn't mean to say that the fighting is going to immediately start, but it's just good to get everybody to roll initiative so we know an order that is there. But right now, so far, Vile Saza, the large hag, is blinded, at least for the next sort of few seconds. The Greenbones seems to be enraged that her hound has been attacked and is being attacked by the party. Specifically, Agnis used her new elven bow to conjure a kind of magical strike against her. And Morgana is kind of playing this manipulation game. So we've kind of got this interesting scenario going on. So let's get these initiatives down.
And if I remember correctly, we struck a deal with Morgana to kill Greensong.
Well, I mean,
struck a
you
deal.
Certainly, struck a deal with quotation marks.
Yes.
You don't know how much you can trust her. You don't know if she even trusts you. But certainly there was an offer made that if you kill Greensong, that Morgana will restore. I think she said something like, "I'll restore your little friend and let you go." Was the kind of phrasing of what she said. So, Clive, what was that you got on your initiative? Is that with advantage you get the 21?
Yeah. That was weird. My advantage roll for initiative was 20 and 1. So 21.
Oh, well, there we go. 21 for Clive. Agnis.
5.
5. Tarkhal.
16.
Tarkhal. Azara.
Also 16.
Also 16. Perfect.
I like to imagine that the reason for my low initiative is that I finally catch sight of Alyssa, and I'm like, I grab Azara's arm and I'm like, is that Alyssa? Because it doesn't look like her at all anymore.
Yeah. So I thought that was sorted. So yeah, standing in the doorway of the tower, maybe sort of I think about like 70, 80 feet from the window, you do see a kind of hunched, stocky shape. It doesn't really, at a glance, you wouldn't think of it as Blade Captain Alyssa. The only thing that really makes you realize who it is the Eveningstar, the Cormier tabard that she's wearing, that the Dragon Knights wear. She is pulled up like a flea-bitten, moth-eaten, dirty-looking blanket, and she's wrapped it like around her face, very Quasimodo from the Notre Dame, like where he's got like the cape wrapped around him, like to hide her features, and you can't really see her face or anything like that, but she definitely does not seem to be the same. There's something's happened. Some sort of transformation has taken place for sure. And so, yeah, Agnis, you look over and just there's this stunned moment where you're completely distracted by what's going on as you look over. But we're going to kick things off. I mean, again, I feel that we will kind of go through initiative combat just because there's a bunch of stuff happening. But Clive, it's your turn. The large hag who has been kind of pummeling you with this two-handed hammer and has really been delighting in causing physical pain. She's like clutching her eyes and stumbling around, completely blinded by this bright light that you conjured through your wild rage. You still have one of these stone statues behind you. The other hag seems to be completely distracted from you, though. She is looking towards the bathhouse where you can see some of your companions. You can see the hellhound and this other hag, but she is not paying any attention to you. This blinded or seemingly blinded hag does not care. The only real threat at the moment is this statue behind you. What would you like to do?
Is the blinded hag the one that has my sword as well?
Yes. So it is currently, she's got your sword in one hand and then this big two-handed maul in the other hand, like wielding it as if it was a one-handed weapon. You've claimed your Morningstar offer, but she still has Ebonscorn in her hand.
I want to try and get back Ebonscorn at that point.
Okay. So what, you're just going to literally grab it and try and rip it out of her hands?
Yeah.
Sure, go for it. I think that, yeah, with this, because she's blinded, just do a strength test. You'll have advantage because you're raging, and I'll give her disadvantage because she's blinded. Because she doesn't know where you're going to kind of strike from. So that's very good. My first roll was a 2. So
let's see. First roll was 11.
Okay.
Second is 22.
Okay, easily enough. Yeah, your big paws reach out, you grab Emma's gun, and she just doesn't know where you're striking from. So before she can tighten her grip, and you can see that this hag is physically powerful. I mean, you felt these blows, like there is immense strength there, but you snatch the blade away and it returns to your hand. You feel its kind of magical energy, surging through.
And would that be my action for the turn, or?
I would say, yeah, I think that grabbing an item would count as a full action for the turn because you're also slowed, if I remember, as well. So
yes,
yeah. So you kind of like, even in slow motion, you managed to kind of wrench this blade free. But yeah, you grab the blade back. I think that would be your action this turn.
Okay. Then for, let's see, bonus action, knocked unconscious, turn ends, have an attack. Oh wait, your rage ends early if you are knocked out, or if haven't attacked a hostile creature since your last turn. So my rage
would say that grabbing a weapon would still count. It's still an aggressive action. It's not dealing damage, but you're still in a battle. Like you're still fighting. It's just you didn't do any points of damage. So I'd say that still counts.
Then I would actually bonus action to end my rage.
Okay, sure. Okay. So the rage kind of fades. And then do you want to make a wisdom saving throw against the slow as well?
Mm-hmm. 17.
17 is enough, actually, just barely. Whatever spell this blinded hag cast on you, having said, you can feel that as she's distracted, the magic is weakening, and you use this moment to kind of stretch out your kind of senses and emotions, and you feel the spell break, and your body almost seems to leap back in speed as it does so.
Break the spell and have Ebonscorn now, even though I'm at very low health.
But still this is it. He's alive again.
Nah, you fucked up, loss.
Yeah, and you kind of turn around and you can see that these enemies, 2 of which seem very distracted, and the other one is this statue that's been kind of dogging your heels the whole time. Meanwhile, over towards the bathhouse, Dread Morgan, previously known as Morgana, will look over and she sees that Agnis has like fired the bow and Tarkhal's been throwing like knives and things like that, and she is going to kind of slip back through these woods, and she's going to attempt to just kind of disappear from sight for a brief moment. However, Tarkhal she's not hiding particularly well. She's trying to be stealthy and she's trying to kind of pull herself away from the battle. But you don't have any problem in keeping track of her as she just begins making her way back towards the tower. You can see her kind of drifting in that direction.
Do the rest of us see her or only Tarkhal?
I would say that you and Agnis, you see her go behind the trees, and then you don't see her again.
Okay.
Actually, no, Agnis, your passive perception's like mega fucking high, right? Yeah, Agnis still
it's like
sees
a million.
her. You can see through the trees this kind of tall, slender shape moving through. You can still track her, but Azara, like as far as you're concerned, she's vanished. She's like turned invisible.
And that is that the one that I had already hit with the arrow?
No, this is the long, dark-haired one who made the deal to Azara. This is the one who said, if you kill her, I'll let you go. And she's actually going to cast a spell on herself. You can see this kind of shimmering field of magical armor kind of begins to emerge around her. She's going to take the time to cast mage armor on herself. Cool. Azara.
Yeah. Agnis cast that magic absorb.
So she gets disadvantage against magic attacks, I think, and also
it's advantage on any ranged spell attacks against green bones. This is the green barky blinded hag.
That
says any spell attacks.
Yes. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I guess melee or ranged. I just always assume is a thing. So spell attacks, and she has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws against magic.
Wonderful. I'm going to cast Witch Bolt at the 5th level on her.
Nice.
This will be strong.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Witch Bolt at the 5th level. And I get advantage. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 to hit.
21 against green bones will hit. You can see that she's only really got this bark-like skin as her defense. No armor, no magical spells. The bolt, this kind of crackling arc of blue-white connected from you to her, launches through the air and strikes her.
I'm also gonna go ahead and I'm a channel my divinity. I'm gonna channel that destructive wrath.
How many d12s is that?
So that is 60 in total.
Yeah. 5d12 maximized.
Yep. But plus 3 lightning damage. So that is 63 points of lightning damage.
Jeez, that's a lot of damage.
I mean, it's okay.
That's insane.
You watch, you hear. It's almost like the clouds above seem to swirl and turn gray. Azara kind of leaning out of this window, you just point a finger or the staff or whatever it is towards her, and the rest of you just hear this crack of lightning, this and this spark is now, and it remains in effect. Like this line is joining Azara and this hag together. Unfortunately, it doesn't do as much damage on subsequent turns, but it's still like connecting the two of them, and you can see this power surging down. This hag screams. It is like a maddening scream of agony, and you can see that, like a tree being struck by lightning, there's like a heat glowing in her chest that's beginning to kind of spread outwards, and she's just like, traitors, betrayers, fools, I'll kill you, and it's just spitting hate in all of your direction. I'll take the secret of the paintings to my grave to spite you.
Well, to add insult to injury, I'm going to move my fan over to her and hit her.
How far can the fan move?
The fan can move. Hold on, where is the 2nd level spell, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Spiritual weapon. 60 feet.
60 feet, okay.
No, I can move it 20 feet.
Okay, you can move it 25. So 5, 10, 15, 20 will get to you to about here.
So it won't quite reach.
Yeah, it's about halfway, or not quite. It's a little bit further than halfway.
Then I'm just going to...
the fan begins flying through the air towards
it's on its way. And then I'm going to use my movement to kind of duck behind... Yeah.
Okay, go on.
What were we going to say?
No. Please continue.
Is the Hellhound going to get an attack of opportunity on me?
Well, it depends. Depends on where you're going to move.
I was just going to move, like here behind this pillar of.
It will get an attack of opportunity against you. However, you have significant cover. So I'm going to give you 3/4 cover against the attack because you're kind of up high. You're about sort of like 5-6 feet off the ground. But this is, a large creature and it can clearly jump up and make the bite. I'm going to give you significant cover against the attack. But also keep in mind, you probably want to, I would say maybe move to about here because you need to keep Greensong in range if you want to keep the Witch Bolt connected.
I just want to kind of like be behind that unbroken pillar of the window just so I have slight cover and I'm out of like the open window.
That's exactly it. Yeah, you're not going to be fully out of cover, but just because you want to maintain the Witch Bolt. But this arc of lightning, but the Hellhound is going to try and make a quick bite towards you.
Go for it, doggo.
So this would normally be a 12 to hit, but your AC is 5 points higher because of the 3/4 cover.
Well, my AC is 14 anyway, so either way it doesn't hit.
Either way it doesn't miss. So the Hellhound like bites up at the broken glass, but you are already kind of pulling away. And I think that normally you guys would be standing like waist deep in water, but the water spirit is actually kind of moving the water so that you and Agnis can move much more easily in it. It's kind of just at like ankle level, so you can easily move around, and she's kind of holding the water back basically to help you maneuver around. Anything else after an excellent turn, Azara?
I think that's it. That's all I can do.
I also want to point out that they were standing right next to each other at the window. So when this like crack of lightning and this bolt connected them, and then she walked back, Agnis is kind of like,
oh no, I don't want to get in the middle of that.
Like right here by Agnes's face. She's kind of just like.
And it's kind of like Palpatine, right? So like Azara's still got her hands and like the lightning's still sparking out of them. So it's even more reason Agnis is like, ooh.
There's just like a blue glow on Agnes's face. And she's like,
Agnis was all feeling badass with the bow, and she's all like, yeah. And then this like giant lightning is by her face, and she's like,
it's important to note that that as well, like as that lightning bolt shot out of Azara's hands, this silvery glow that's kind of attached itself to the hag from your bow almost like reaches out and grabs the lightning and pulls it into the hag as well, like the effect of it.
Okay, then it's less of a chagrin and more of a like, hell yeah, teamwork.
I was gonna say, because like let's not forget that it's because of that effect that Azara definitely landed that spell.
I give her an air 5. Oh, but not touching the lightning.
Azara kind of like nods since she's like concentrating on the lightning. Palpatine's out. She's like, yeah, teamwork.
Tarkhal. Let's go with Tarkhal.
I don't like that blue baby girl is sneaking off at all.
But just from Tarkhal's perspective as well, you can see that the large hag next to Clive, the one with the big hammer, she's almost like beginning to blink, and you can see her visions coming back. You can also see this statue is like rearing up to strike Clive. The blinded hag, Greenbones, is looking towards the window where your sister and Azara are. However,
okay. Is she looking bloodied? Is she looking crispy?
I mean, that lightning blast from Azara has caused some terrible
serious
damage to her.
Okay.
However, you've seen that similar lightning blast tear chunks off of a shadow dragon. You've seen it devastate enemies. This hag still looks like she has some fight left in her. Like that she is not bloodied at this point.
Okay. I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to move 5 feet here, and I'm going to actually hit the big one with my Kiss of Silver.
Okay.
Or attempt to.
Yeah. So advantage on the attack roll because she is blinded.
Sweet. That's a crit! I don't need it! I'm taking a picture. I always feel like I have to take pictures of my dice when I get a crit.
Shady. That's very sweet, but
that's just how I feel.
Yeah, but you should take pictures to celebrate them, but not.
That's true. Them. Yes. Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm not gonna roll again.
Well, that's a crit. Yeah, yes. My crit rules are a little different to the PHBs. All of those dice that you get to roll, please maximize them and then roll them again.
Okay, I'm gonna try to roll it on D&D Beyond. So that's
fine. Yeah, because you can roll in D&D Beyond. And then what's your sneak attack? How many dice?
5d6.
So that would be 30 points of damage. Yeah, so you can just add 30 points of damage to it.
But do I also get the regular D4 max as well? Okay. So 5d6 is 30. So 34 base with the crit, and then plus another 25 total. So 61. Nope. My brain. 25 plus 36. Yeah. 61.
61 points
Does
of
the
damage.
poison also get maxed?
Does the poison do anything?
So the poison against Valsaza will do something. There is no dice to maximize, so it just does the normal damage. But yeah, it definitely does.
Do I get 2 of those 4 damage since it's a crit?
No.
Okay. I had to try.
Good try.
Thank you guys. I really tried.
But yeah, so 4 extra points of lightning damage to that, poison damage to that as well. So yeah, Clive, like you get the weapon back in your hand, you've wrested it free, you kind of step back, you say, "Oh, you're all fuck me," and then as you look up, you can see Saza like blinks a couple of times, and she's like looking in your direction, just grinning, and she's bringing up this hammer in a 2-handed strike, and then you just see this flash of silver kind of just cut through her neck. You see blood begins to spill down. She's like, screaming in pain, and then just this green mist kind of coalesces, and then the silver snaps back, and you see Tarkhal in the distance just like catch the knife.
Everyone's looking so cool today,
right?
Yeah, that was so cool. What a finale. And then I am going to actually
that was you've moved at 5 feet, you've made an attack roll.
And then I'm gonna just move 5, 10, 15, 20. Yes, I'll move here, and then I'm going to use my bonus action to attempt to hide.
Sure.
Dive into the bush.
Yeah, just dive. Because I want to keep an eye on this blue baby girl without causing a ruckus.
You keep calling her blue baby girl.
Yeah.
I don't know. I rolled a 2 plus 12,
it's too
so
affectionate.
it's 14.
14? Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Right.
And that's my attempt to hide. And I end my turn.
I also assume the blood like spilling out just all lands on Clive's face as he's like laughing maniacally.
Yeah, if you wanted to, you just get sprayed with this arterial blood as Tarkhal's knife like cuts an artery in her neck.
Tarkhal!
She wheels on Clive, like looking around for where this attack has come. She does not see Tarkhal, and just turns on the one thing that this hag can take her vengeance out on. And she is going to... I think that first things first.
No.
She's going to use a bonus action to cast Branding Smite. So her hammer begins to glow with the fury of the sun. And then she's going to bring her hammer down on poor Clive. That is an 18 to hit you, Clive.
That's a hit.
This is 2d12 plus 5 damage, and then the Branding Smite on top. That's going to be 11. 16 bludgeoning damage, so half that to 8 because you're raging. Are you still up?
I ended my rage.
Oh, you ended your rage. So 18 bludgeoning damage.
I am down.
Okay, and then you would have taken another 9 radiant damage as this hammer like basically burns like a brand. You can see this kind of almost on the end of the maul, there is like this wicked symbol of a probably like a pair of sickles like crossed, dripping with like ooze, and it kind of like burns onto the thing, and this kind of searing light spreads over you. When she sees Clive drop, like she sees like Clive kind of wheel down to the ground. I'm trying to think what she would do here, because looking around, she can't see Tarkhal. The other two are up in the building.
As the hammer was coming down, he would have looked at it and just been like, "It's a glorious day to die again."
This time.
Oh man.
Maybe this is too late to retcon, but I'm looking at the map. Has Kandor been over Clive this whole time?
Mm-hmm.
He was, but unfortunately Agnis had to use a bonus action on her turn, so couldn't teleport him away. We went through this in the last session, but unfortunately it was the timing was just turn. That's the thing. And
can you teleport a dead body?
I mean, we'll find out.
I'm not unwilling.
Well, here's the thing, and this is where I'm trying to play the bad guys, but also I appreciate that this is a very dirty thing for a DM to do, because she is enraged, right? The spark of her ire is not nearby. The other enemies she can't get to fight. Clive's body's there, and she is mad.
No.
Well, this is the thing: is I think that she would at least make one whack because this is like a big enemy, right? This is a season finale, and I think that she slams the hammer down on Clive's body one more time in just an absolute rage, which is unfortunately going to cause 2 failed death saves, Clive.
Ooh.
Yeah,
you get
because it
one
counts as a
death save?
critical. You get, because it's basically, if it's a melee attack within 5 feet against an incapacitated enemy, it counts as a crit. And if you get hit by a crit when you're on 0 hit points, it's 2 death saving throws failed. But then she thinks that finishes Clive off. She slams the hammer down, like, enough of these things. Just stop your bickering, kill them. And she slams the thing down, like, I've dealt with one, finish the others. And then she is going to storm off towards the tower where she can see Alyssa's form in the doorway. And I think that she's going to stomp off that way. 5, 10. She's going to get to about here. She gets about halfway to the tower, having basically slammed Clive's body. And we see like blood kind of cough out of his lion mouth, and like you hear like broken bones as she begins to storm away. The Green Bones, the blinded hag, is going to look around. Saza, where are you going? Where is Morgan, that traitor? I'm not telling you my secrets. You think that I'm making deals with them. Look at you, you manipulative bitch. And she's like kind of like snarling and hissing around. She is going to look in Azara's direction, seeing this line of lightning connecting the two.
I'm partially covered.
You are partially covered, and she's going to look and just say, like, do not think you can hide from me, little wizard. And this black tendrils, almost like black lightning, springs from her hands. No. She's going to cast, she's casting a spell. I don't know if anybody has counter spell.
I don't.
Okay.
Nope.
In that case, this is a Constitution saving throw, unfortunately, as she's casting Blight on you.
That's actually not
Zara.
Unfortunately, because I'm a dragon. Ha! That is 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
Okay, 24. You can take half damage.
Thank you, Dragon Blood.
Do I have a quick way of rolling this? I do not. Oh, yes, I do. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think it's 8d8 for Blight. Yeah. 8d8. Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
But you're going to half it because you succeeded on the saving throw.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing, because it was 53 points of necrotic damage. Halved to 26. But this black lightning like strikes you, Azara. I need you to make a concentration check for spiritual weapon.
Okay. Which is
DC for this would be 26 halved is.
And what am I rolling?
13. Constitution saving throw.
Oh, another one. Okay.
This is to see if you maintain concentration on spiritual weapon.
And what's the DC? I got 17.
That you passed. It was 13.
Okay.
So even being struck by this powerful blow of black lightning, your draconic bloodline helps you resist the necrotic energy trying to suck the life out of you. You managed to maintain concentration on the spiritual thing. But you can see she's like looking. She is furious. Like, doesn't know who to trust, but is just targeting this rage back at Zara. The Hellhound is going to attempt to see if it recharges its flame breath. Agnes, please roll a d6 for me. Let's see. I'll have you roll for its recharge ability.
6.
6. It does recharge, so it breathes fire.
That should have been like good for me.
No, it's recharge 5, 6. I need you and so in fact, it won't hit Azara because Azara moved back into cover. So just Agnes. This is a dexterity saving throw as this thing tries to spout a gout of flame, a cone of flame.
16.
16. You pass.
Oh, and also I have cover. Remember, I have like half cover.
You would have had advantage on that.
But I made it anyway, right?
Yeah, you made it anyway. Okay. So half damage. So 9 points of fire damage.
Owie.
You know, the parts of like the the flames on your own outfit now kind of smoldering and singed, but kind of creating this cool kind of smoky effect around you.
Girl on fire.
And it is in fact your turn next, Agnes. I mean, you can see that, this terrible blow to Clive. You're not even sure if Clive's still alive. You think you can see him breathing, but it looks bad.
Yeah, when she sees him get struck, she cries out no, and she drops the bow and she casts cure wounds at the 4th level using candor, because
I was gonna say, because it's normally a touch spell, but you can use candor, right? So is this like candor landing on his chest?
Yeah,
or is
so
this
candor
like
flies down and lands and like raises his wings and gathers this energy and like puts it into his chest.
Mm-hmm.
So
we see
that's gonna
this
be
little column of fire, kind of healing flames.
Yeah, and that's gonna be 22 plus a d8.
Love it.
Which is an extra 7, so 29.
29 points of health back to Clive. So death saving throws go away, and you get to 27 health.
And then also
this fire thing on my chest.
And then Candor's gonna stare in his face and go, "Wah!" And then fiery teleport him into the bush where Tarkhal is. So just like poof, drop him in the bush, and then that also should do damage to the 2 enemies that were right next to him.
Yeah, tell me what I need to do. Is this a saving throw? Is this what am I doing?
I think it's Dex. Let me double check. It is. Yeah.
The statue fails.
Dex saving throw of 16.
So does the hag. They both fail.
So they take 1d6 plus 4. Just a little fire damage.
Little singe.
Little, just 6 little
points.
fire damage.
Hey, fire damage. So as the flames, the statue doesn't seem to be. I mean, the statue's taken like a pretty big beating from Clive's frying pan and being thrown out of a window. And the fire again sort of like scorches it all over. That's going to be. Let's do that. However, it's the hag, this bark-skinned hag. As soon as she becomes on fire, she just begins shrieking. But you see the big one, the one that's like making its way to the tower, the one that had hit Clive, turns, and now that this other hag is on fire, having being set alight, you see fear in this big hag's eyes. Like she is terrified of fire, and you can see she kind of almost recoils from the flames of this of the other one and the flames of Candor, and you see her just like beginning to like look towards the tower as if she's going to run that direction. Anything else, Agnes?
I think that's all I can do.
Bonus action. Do you want to move anywhere? You do have this broken window and hellhound in front of you, but
am I technically in melee with the hellhound?
You are technically, yes, but it has taken oh no, it's had its turn, so it does have a reaction left.
Does my cover have anything like? Does it protect me from the attack
your AC?
opportunity?
Yeah, it gives you like it'll give you a +5 to your AC against attacks. Just keep in mind that if you want to have line of sight to the battle, you're probably going to have to stay pretty close to the window.
I think like. This is not min-maxing at all, but I think Agnes is so absorbed in the battle outside that she's not even like present. Like, because when she works through Candor, I imagine that there's kind of like she almost is there with Candor. So I think her mind is out on the battlefield and she doesn't move at all.
Okay. Yeah.
She's just kind of like, I think she's standing there at the window with her hand outstretched, like, ah.
Sure. Yeah, so we see that the elven statue, the one that had been assaulting Clive, is just going to basically run into the area that it's, Clive, it saw like some flames. It's going to run towards the bushes to try and locate Clive. So it's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Let's see if it can detect Tarkhal or Clive. It does not detect Clive. And it does not detect Tarkhal. So you see Tarkhal and Clive, Clive kind of like within a bush. This like statue like runs near to the shrine and is looking around and it's trying to find you. And it just, spends its turn kind of looking around as best as it can. Clive of the Wildbane.
Let's see here. So I'm in this bush. There's that guy. I'm going to, Okay. So we have established that self-inflicted damage can trigger my barbarian wild magic.
Yes.
Could I Aaron Yeager it up and bite myself?
Yes.
Cool.
Do you just want to activate your rage? because that would trigger it as well, right?
Oh, I forgot I'm not raging.
You're not raging. That's why. Yeah.
But
So
it
I want to
sounds
remind
so
you.
much cooler.
I mean,
Keep that in
you
pocket,
can
keep
still
that in
have
pocket.
that. You can still have that as that's how you start raging, right?
true.
Like, and then the multicolored light
Sick.
springs to life, and you set yourself into a rage. We just won't have it do damage to you. We'll just have it activate. your
Even
rage.
better. So let's see. An intangible spirit, flump or pixie,
Oh, no.
Yes.
appears 5 feet within 5 feet of a creature. I'm gonna have it appear next to a big hag. Can I see?
Okay.
Can I see her?
Yeah, you can see it from like you can kind of stick your head out, poking, like looking through this thorn bush. What is it? A flump or a pixie?
Flump was a little less traumatizing, so we're gonna go
Okay.
with flump.
The
no.
flump that appears is a kind of light cyan color. It appears to be wearing a tiny golden crown. And when it appears, it is singing. And it just appears in a sort of like, oh, what a lovely day to be alive. What a lovely day to be alive. And that's what it's doing.
I'm so sorry, Flump.
Let's see here, and then so that was my bonus. And then I'm going to attack the statue.
Sure. Sorry, I'm drawing a flump.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah. So you can just burst out of these bushes with weapon in hand,
Mhm.
one of which is a magical weapon now, which will strike this statue, cleave it in twain,
Yep.
and make your attacks.
All right. So
Reckless or not?
Yes, please.
Advantage.
Okay, so the first one is 20 something, but let me see the advantage. Okay, so no crit.
Okay.
But
Hits.
it's 24 to hit.
Oh yeah.
So let's see. That's gonna be 7 plus the 3. So 10.
Not resisted this time, as it's from a magical weapon. So the stone, the ebon scorn, cuts through the stone like flesh, leaving this deep gouging mark.
Oh wait, and it says you have a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls. So
If it's on D&D Beyond, that should be factored in already. So it should be added.
I didn't roll the damage on D&D Beyond.
There we go. So I'll add the extra one.
So it could have been easier.
It could have been easier.
And I'll attack again.
Sure.
Uh-oh, that's a 1.
Well, you have advantage. You're reckless.
Oh, right. That's a 2.
Well, you never know.
Okay, then.
What's the total?
The total is 11.
I mean, it doesn't hit, but it might have. You never know.
Mm.
Those other creatures had an AC of 9, so you never know. But no, this time it unfortunately, sensing you coming, it raises its hand, it blocks the blade, it kind of knocks the blade to the side before it can fully get a full cut. But yeah, the first attack strikes true, second attack is bounced away. Flump has been summoned. You are raging.
Mhm.
Anything else, Clive?
No, now it's time for that flump to explode.
Right, Flump explodes.
So dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw on Saza is not very good, I don't think. That is going to be a 15 total.
I always forget what the DC is. An effect requires a saving throw. DC equals 16.
16, so fails.
All right, so explosion is going to be 1d6 force damage. Big money. It's a 3.
3 points of damage. In the middle of a kind of long crescendo note, what a lovely day! It just kind of explodes and erupts. 3 points of force damage.
They're fine.
It does explode into a kind of confetti glitter
Oh, that's
when
fine.
it goes.
Okay.
The
They're
little
just going back
party-
to the Feywild.
party buzzer noises.
We certainly hope they're going back.
It was a lovely day.
Amazing.
Oh my god.
Okay, if that's you done, Clive. You all seem to have this well in hand now.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Does the dryad go, and can she heal us with her water?
She cannot heal you. She would have an initiative, but there's nothing she can do while there are no enemies in the pool, basically.
She can't make the magic water make me feel better?
No.
Oh,
no,
I thought
no
I'd
healing.
ask.
Yeah, I mean that's a great question to ask, but
Thank
no,
you.
she's all she can really do is kind of make this water so it's not hindering you and Agnis at this stage. Unless there is an enemy in this chamber, there's really not that much she can do.
Thought I'd ask.
Unfortunately, so I also need to. I keep forgetting I don't have Elissa and the Kobold on this initiative, but I will try and remember them to make sense that they're not really. They're not able to do much.
They're
They
not
don't
at
have
their
any real
best right
weapons.
now.
Yeah, they're not at their best. Yeah, I think that yeah, you guys have got this in hand. Dread Morgan is going to slip around the corner where you can't see her anymore because she is sort of out of line of sight. And she's gonna. Oh yeah, that looks good. Let's see. Clive, Tarkhal, and Agnis make perception checks, please.
I love a perception check for me.
11.
11.
I only rolled a 7, but that still gives me a 15.
Oh, okay, nice. Clive.
19.
Okay, surprisingly, it's Clive. You see this dark-haired hag go around the corner of the shrine, and then you see the kind of residue of some sort of spell being cast, and then you see a tiny bat flying to the top of the tower, and it kind of flies up to the top of the tower, and it seems to find some sort of hole or window and goes in.
Okay.
I will yell at her as she's going in. Just, where do you think you're going?
Yeah,
It's not over.
And she made
you
it
see
inside
Clive
the tower.
yelling at this bat. You see Clive yelling at some bat that flies into the tower.
Okay.
If your characters think that you guys can basically be like, okay, we've kind of got an idea of what that is. Azara.
Clive's pretty loud. I think we heard it.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys would hear Clive. Yeah. Azara.
I'm going to first hasten my spell. Sweet.
Quicken spell.
I'm going to hasten that, and I'm going to hasten a cure wounds on myself at the 4th level. Sweet baby Jesus. And that is how many D8? 4 D8. Let me do that real quick.
Modifier.
+1, 3, 4. That is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22 points.
22 points. Lovely.
I'm going
Bonus
to
action, cure wounds on yourself.
Yes. And now that I'm not coughing up fucking blood, I'm going to I saw that witch not like fire, right?
So the one that you've struck with the lightning, she doesn't seem to be phased by the fire. Like, she's on fire.
Right.
She doesn't seem to care about it. It's the
other
big
one.
one. The big one is like shying away from it as if afraid.
Gotcha. Although since as my bonus action, oh no, it had to be an action, huh? No, I can. I can do that. Right?
What
no,
would you
I
like
can't.
to do?
Can I still witch bolt?
So, yeah, this is witch bolt, I believe you can because it's just an action. You've cast the spell.
Right.
But is it a bonus action or an action to do the witch bolt?
It says you can use your action to deal the 1d12 lightning damage.
Then you absolutely can. You can quicken a spell and then you can use your action to do the 1d12 lightning damage to the target automatically. Yep.
Which is it still just only one?
It's just one. Unfortunately, this is a thing that was clarified with Witch Bolt. The initial damage goes up, but the continue because it's automatic.
Right. That's fair.
This is why a lot of people are like, Witch Bolt sucks.
All right. That's 7, 10 because of my lightning damage.
That's true. You do get to add that because it's every time you do damage. So yeah, you see like you kind of send a surge of lightning down this line that connects you. And the blinded hag is like, ah.
I am going to voluntarily break it though.
Okay.
And move. How much can I move? I can move 30 feet. I want to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. No one can see me. I am in a corner. Do not touch me.
No one can see you. You can't see anyone. So
that is fine. I will move back again later. Just for right now, nobody can see me. I am in a corner.
Don't look at me.
Don't look. Do not perceive me.
Tarkhal. Speaking of not being perceived.
Right.
Sneaky Sneak Boy wants to go ahead and, for the first time in forever, take full advantage of my roguelike abilities.
The Frozen references from this boy.
Right?
It's happening. I would like to plunge. I'm attempting to plunge my Kiss of Silver into the back of the big one's head. Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna kind of go charging for the bigger enemy, this larger hag, right?
Well, I was just gonna throw it.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. I forget that you throw. Yep.
Yeah, it's up to 60 feet.
I just for me it's like melee, but no, yeah, it's just.
I'm just gonna chuck it, and so I do have advantage, right? Because she has not gone.
Yes,
I'm hidden, and she hasn't gone on the turn order. So there's a 17, which is 25, and then a 15. So no crit, but doesn't assassinate trigger because I am hidden and she is surprised.
Oh, let's have a look here. I think that like full surprise is like a whole thing, but let me have a read because this rarely comes up for me.
I know that's I feel like it rarely comes up,
and I want it to happen because it's cool and it's a thing you do, but I want to make sure that I'm being true to the rules. You have advantage on attack rolls against any creature that hasn't taken a turn in combat yet. In addition, any hit you score against a creature that is surprised is a critical hit. Let's have a look at surprised.
Dude, we should be...
I think she's surprised, but I want to check.
We should be comboing this because Candor could theoretically just pick you up and teleport you on top of an enemy to surprise them.
Well, that I would say that doesn't count as a surprise. The thing here is that because he's hidden, she doesn't know where he's coming from. If it was just like if she knew where like Tarkhal was, if he wasn't hidden or something like that, then I don't think it would count as a surprise.
No, but if he's in hiding in the bush, like theoretically, if I was like, I'm gonna grab you out of the bush and I'm gonna just drop you on this other hag over here, that would still be a surprise, right?
Yeah, I think as long as he was hidden.
As long as the hidden is happening first
as well. Mm-hmm. So what was your stealth roll again, Shady? It was a 14 total.
I think it was
right?
14. Yes, yeah.
So what I'm going to say here, because like looking up at surprised, it's basically if they're aware of you, it's normally to the first round of combat and things like that. And again, I might check this, and if somebody messaged me and says like, "Oh, this was confirmed in a Jeremy article that said that it doesn't count," then I'll reactivate this. But I think that like. For now, what I'm going to say is, let me have a look at her. What's her passive perception? It would only be 12. Okay. So I'd say that, yeah, her passive perception is lower than your stealth. She doesn't know where you are. You're hidden from her. I would say that, yeah, you can trigger assassinate on this.
Heck yes. My DM. Hashtag my DM. Okay. I will roll in D&DBeyond.com.
This is kind of what you do, right? Like this is, and I'd say that maybe if this was in like an urban environment or like a room or something like that, maybe not. But this is Tarkhal in his element, right? You're in the woods, you're in the trees. This is where you grew up. This is where your father taught you to hunt and to track, and you know how to like. You almost like make her think that you're in one section so that she completely leaves open these blind spots, these vulnerable spots, and with one. The dagger just flies out of your hand and is going to strike true.
Which I have to math 27 plus 34. Once again, I think that's 61.
So we watch as she, backing away from this fire, she turns and she looks into the doorway and she's just like, you little wretched filth. Every pain that they've insuffered on me, I'm going to... And we just see like a silver kind of like sticks out of her throat. This huge lumbering kind of massive armed bulky figure as we just see this tiny little flash of silver, this little, and then just blood begins to spray out and she like holds it and just collapses to the floor. And nobody, except maybe Agnis, because her passive perception is really high, sees Tarkhal, just the little knife kind of reappear and you kind of looking around as this hag falls to...
Yes. So I can move now, and
Sure.
so I know I'm hidden in this tree bush, but if I move away, is this statue gonna know that I'm moving away when I'm hit?
It would have disadvantage because it doesn't know where you are.
Okay, then
So
I'm
it
gonna
would
still
sense like movement and like lash out, but
yeah. So in my
disadvantage.
mind, what I'm trying to do is Tarkhal just did this in my mind from like the tops of branches, and I want him to tree hop. Like I want him to
Cool.
Sure.
You look
Yeah.
so cool this episode.
He's-
Everything you do looks cool.
he's popping off.
Yeah.
It's popping off. I'm gonna make the opportunity attack with disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
So that is my lowest. There is a 13.
Yes, that does not hit. My AC is 15.
So what you see is like you leap from the tabletops. This thing tries to grab your leg to like slam you into the ground, but you just fly right over it. Naruto style.
Sweet. So then I want to essentially go 5. I guess I don't need to, I kind of do want to hop to another tree. So it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And I'm trying to hop into here like and then use my bonus action to hide.
Mhm.
Basically, like that last jump is like an attempt to hide.
Sure.
So I'll roll stealth. And that's a 15 plus 12. So 27.
27. Okay. Yeah, just again whoosh, blending in the dark greens and browns of your armor and cloak, helping you blend in this natural environment as you do so. Okay. However, your stealth does not seem to help you hide from this seemingly blind hag.
Oh,
She whips
witch.
her head in your direction. You killed her. You killed Saza. In any other life, I would have congratulated you, but I did not have her secrets, boy. Stay where you are until I can deal with you. And she is going to weave a spell. Yeah. You've looked really cool up until this moment, Tarkhal.
Uh-oh.
And kind of
Thanks,
in the tree
Mark.
branches, you feel your body just beginning to like dance. Like you feel your body kind of like twitching into like this awkward, almost harvest dance. And you slip off the branches and you and land in a heap. And you just can't stop yourself. She has cast Otto's Irresistible Dance on you. One creature within range. The target begins a comic dance in place, shuffling, tapping its feet, and preparing for the duration. A dancing creature must use all of its movement to dance without leaving its space, has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws and attack rolls. While the target is affected by the spell, other creatures have advantage on attack rolls against it. You can use an action to make a wisdom saving throw to try and regain your control of yourself.
I imagine
and
that
it's like funny. It's like he's like
I feel like to me in my brain it looks like someone like badly imitating Michael Jackson, like
yeah,
like
sure.
trying like moonwalking and like looking at the ground and like yeah,
doing the worm, you know,
Uh-huh.
like gets on the ground. Yeah. But yeah,
Thanks,
she
Mark.
turns around. Listen, man.
I was having
They
such a
don't care.
good time being a cool badass, and now I'm doing the Irish jig plus thriller. That's what I feel like I'm doing.
You down. Gotta bring you down a level.
Also known as Irish Thriller.
yes,
Yeah.
Good name for a
Um,
drink.
the thrill jig.
And then to make matters worse, she's going to cast that spell. And then she is going to she's going to use sort of not quite a legendary action, but like a bonus action here. She's going to call the Hellhound back to her space. So she calls out like, Morty, come protect me. And this little Hellhound basically gets to make a free movement.
And
to
I get an
protect
attack of
herself.
opportunity.
You do get an attack of opportunity. What are you making the opportunity attack with?
Does it have to be melee?
Well, if you use a ranged weapon, it would be at disadvantage. Unless you have certain feats.
I don't really have any not
Punch.
rage. Well, because I have primal savagery.
That is a cantrip.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it's just.
If you,
an
I'll
unarmed-
tell you, Agnes, if you take the Warcaster feat, that would allow you to use primal savagery for opportunity attacks because it lets you make a cantrip in place of a opportunity attack.
I shall keep that in mind. But I will just try to
Warcaster
punch.
is a very good feat.
I'll just try to punch at the doggy.
Sure, yeah, just like kick the
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah. evil
Um.
hell beast.
Yeah. 15 to hit.
will actually hit.
It does
Just
1 damage.
1 point of damage. She just, you hit like, and then it just scampers back to its master.
And don't come back.
Yeah. Morty is going to take a defensive stance around their master, and then we come to Agnis.
I suddenly find myself not in danger. Clive is still very low health and in combat, and I'm safe. So I'm going to go ahead and keep using Candor to run support for Clive.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my last 4th level spell slot to cure wounds again on Clive.
That's nice, isn't it?
Yay! Hit points for the barbarian.
That will
Who
be
needs them?
Yeah. There'll be a total of
Plus the D8.
27. Yeah, with the D8.
Oh,
is
that's with the
27.
extra D8. Nice. 27
Yeah.
HPs.
Nice.
And then I'm
Flame Seed?
talking is free, right? Like I can ask Clive.
To an extent, yeah. Like, don't go nuts with it, but yeah, sure, you guys can
I just
talk
want
in
to
between
ask him,
combat.
like, do you want to be teleported?
No, I got a score to settle with this thing.
Okay, then yes, Candor will be like, ha-ha, pwit, and spit his flame seed.
Yep, love it.
And that will be, I think, 1d8 plus 4, but I'm just gonna double check. I always forget which one is which. Oh, but it's a +8 to attack, so I have to hit first.
You do.
Oh yeah, that's a 22.
22 hits.
And that will be... The die is covering it. Move. Okay. Total of 7 fire damage.
7 points of fire damage. Hey, it all helps. It blows off like a chunk of this stone, and you can see this thing is taking some serious damage now, this statue, from Clive's attacks, from the little bits of fire and stuff like that. It has worn it away. And it's definitely, yeah, it's looking injured. One might even say bloodied, as I do so. Anything else, Agnis, on your turn? If not, it will be the statue and then Clive.
I think that's all I can do.
Okay, this statue turns its attention on the one thing that it's been trying to do, and that is kill Clive, or like knock Clive out. Technically, it's not even trying to kill Clive. So 3 attacks actually from this thing. The first one is a 28 to hit Clive.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Yep. That is going to be 8. 14 bludgeoning damage, so halved to 7 because you are raging now. Do you want to trigger your rage?
Yes, I do.
Let's do that then.
Boo-doo-doo-doo. 6. Protected light. +1 bonus to AC.
Hey, perfect.
Yeah. Sweet.
So that is important because now the next attack is going to be 19 to hit.
That still hits.
That still hits. So that's going to be 3, 7. 13 points of bludgeoning damage, so half to 6. And then its last attack is going to be a 20 to hit.
That hits.
18, halved to 9 points of damage. So again, this thing's just pummeling you, Clive, but surging with this healing magic from Agnis. This thing is on the ropes, and this thing is probably going to go down pretty soon as it tries to desperately try and just knock you out. It's just like punching you, desperate for you to stay down as it goes. Clive.
All right, we're gonna try and obliterate this thing.
Sure. Reckless attacks.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so 19. Let's see if it crits. It does.
What?
Oh my gosh.
You
Okay,
called
so
shot at that.
I'm gonna take a picture. All right. So, we get big crit.
Yeah. And are you using the sword two-handed? Because that changes the damage die as well.
Absolutely.
So it's a D10 instead of a D8. So
okay. So how do you run your crit with brutal critical?
So it's the same basically because it counts as it's no different to sneak attack or paladin smite. So you would max all of the weapon dice. So you'd get 1d10 normal plus 1d10 for brutal or critical. So that would be 10 for the normal, 10 for the brutal critical. So you get 20 damage maxed, plus 2d10 more, plus your normal damage modifier. So the strength modifier plus rage modifier. So what would your normal damage be for your weapon?
Let's roll it. I'll roll it in dndbeyond.com. It's
Perfect.
never been easier. That
never
would
been
be
easier.
9.
We're not
Okay,
even sponsored.
so 9 plus 3 from rage, right? You get an extra 3 damage when you rage. So we go to 12. So plus 20 would be 32 points of damage. Because you'd get the max from the brutal. Oh, and then one more d10 for the brutal critical die. So 32 currently plus 1d10.
Sweet. Let's roll it right here for everyone to see. That is 3.
3 points. So 35 points of damage. You watch as this thing has been pursuing you this whole time. One big mighty swing, and you just cleave its head. Like the blade just cuts through the stone like butter, and it just... and this thing just topples over as it just collapses to the ground.
Still in like the crouch
Exactly.
sword down stance and just...
Yeah. It
Play
just
with the whip.
slides like that was exactly its hit points left, by the way. 35.
Whoa!
Did it to a number.
Play with the wild mane.
And looking around, like you've still got movement, so if you want to move and stuff like that, you still can.
Oh yeah. Dog.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
To the dog. Because I have another attack.
Sure.
Hi, dog.
The dog will get to, as soon as you approach it, the dog gets to make a nip at you because it's protecting Greenbones. And you are reckless, so it gets advantage. That's going to be 21.
That hits.
So this is going to be, that'd be 5 piercing damage, so half that to 2, and then 9 fire damage. So 11 total. As you run up towards it, sort of protecting its owner, it bites at you in this flaming jaw. But then you get to make your attack.
Dude, I might go down again. That's okay. Here we go. So
Kander's like, ah!
All right, so advantage because reckless, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first one's a 24, but let me see if it crits.
See if it crits.
It does not.
Okay, so 24 still hits though.
So 1 with 5. So we've got, that's good. So 14 plus the 3.
Yeah, so 17. 17 points of damage. The blade cuts deep into the hellhound's flanks, and you can see almost like a lava-esque blood seems to kind of drip and sizzle as it hits the grass and the stone of the pathway underneath you as you come charging out. Still alive, but yeah, it's injured, heavily injured by that blow. Are you done?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay. Dread Morgan is up to shenanigans in the tower. We go to Azara.
Azara is going to move back to the window. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 feet.
Okay.
Right here, next to Agnis.
Mm-hmm.
How much movement do I have? 30. Cool. And is going to... How hurt is Green Bark looking? Bark lady.
Like I said,
woman.
she looks resilient. Like she's taken that heavy blast of lightning and a bunch of other attacks. But I mean, she still looks to be in fighting shape. But you can see she is, I would say, after she cast this spell on Tarkhal and Clive engaging the Hellhound, she is turning towards the tower. And she looks like she's going to make a break for the tower.
Now, we can't have that now, can we? So I shall... This is going to be very good or very bad. 20-foot radius. How big is that on the map?
It's pretty big.
4 squares, right?
4 squares?
Well, 20-foot radius is it's
Well,
like
8
4
squares
squares and then another 4 squares. Yeah, it's like 8
okay.
squares across. Just
Maybe
trying to see if I've got like a little marker I can use for
Maybe
it. I
it's
can
not
draw one.
maybe it's not the best idea, but I feel like it's the best idea.
So
Um,
it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's about that big.
Good sweet lord. Okay.
It's, 20-foot radius is not small.
Not small. Decidedly not small. Okay, I actually take that back then. I don't move. I move. Yes, I do move, but only 5 feet, so I can see through the window.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm going to cast summon elemental spirit.
Okay.
Out the window because I'm still covered, but I can see, and a little elemental spirit is going to pop up right next to Bark Woman.
Is
And
she
it's-
still on fire, by the way?
Yeah, she is. Yeah. I'll
Yeah?
have her take some damage on her turn. Like only a d6, but like it's like smoldering. It's not like raging inferno.
I'm going to make him let's match Agnes. We'll make him a fire spirit. So like a big armored fire dragon pops up next to her.
Nice.
And then
Dragonborn, like a fiery dragon knight.
Exactly. And he looks dope. And then as my bonus action, because
My bonus action, I make him look dope.
Yes. He has his own initiative, right?
Goes at the end of your turn.
Goes at the end of my turn, but I don't have to command him with a bonus action. It requires no action. Yep, cool. No action required by you. So my bonus action is going to be my fan is going to fly over to the Hellhound.
Yep.
Actually, no. Screw her. Over to her. I hate her. And it's going to hit her in the face, which is, I didn't mean to roll that, which is a +6 to hit. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Does 15 hit?
15 does hit.
Dope. 2d8 plus 1. That is an 8 and a 1. So 10 points of
10 points of damage.
Force damage.
Yep.
And then
that seems to crack like a huge part of her bark, and you can see her wince in pain.
good. We are not done yet, you hellish beast. My boy gets 2 hits. He's going to attack. Can this clear? Can this go away? Thank you. He's going to take his first slam.
Sure.
Which is 15 exactly. That hits. And then his second attack. Easy. Does he get a crit?
Yeah, of course he does. Yeah. Of course.
His second attack crits.
Yeah, perfect.
So
some big crits.
That's wow. I was actually wrong. I was adding +4. It was +8 or +9, but either way, it doesn't matter. So that's.
So do the first hit first.
Yeah, the first hit.
Let's do the first one.
1d10 plus 8.
Okay.
So that's 8 plus 8 is 16.
16 points. Heavy blow from the Dragon Knight. Cracks against her bark-like skin. Ah!
And then the second one is 10 plus 8, so 18.
18.
Yeah, because it crits. Wait, no. I get the full, and then I roll it.
10
plus 4 plus 8.
So 14 plus 8 would be 22.
22 points on his second attack.
So
and it's a fire damage.
This second kind of, is it like what kind of weapon are we talking about for the night? Like a hammer or a sword? Or?
No, he has fire claws. And
fire claws. So he breaks these claws down. And you see this like bark-like skin beginning to break. One of her arms is almost like hanging off almost by these vines that form part of her body. And for the first time, you see like fear. Like she's like, no, stop, kind of calling out as this giant fireman beats down on her.
Can I free action yell at her?
You can do, yeah.
Okay. Sure. And from cowering from behind the window, Azara is going to say, "We won't stop until you free our friends." And then she's going to pop back into the corner.
Well, that makes your threat less intimidating.
Okay. Well, I don't care.
Sure. Tarkhal, doing your little jig. You can use an action to make a wisdom saving throw. But your movement, you basically have to spend your entire movement dancing. You can still attack, but you have disadvantage.
I feel like I want Tarkhal to be okay with dancing, and instead he's going to try to cast command.
Okay. Yeah, you can
Ooh.
cast command. There's no part of the dance spell that stops you casting spells.
And with doing his really silly dance, I want his brow to furrow, and I want him to be very serious, but his legs are doing like that thing. He's like,
Yeah, Michael Flaherty.
grovel, and he wants her to grovel.
Okay. It's a wisdom saving throw, I believe.
Yeah, I know. She's probably good at that, but
She is pretty good at these, but we'll see.
I wanted to try.
Well, I did roll a 2. You
Huzzah!
guys have had all of my good luck tonight.
Oh my god!
So
I
yeah,
love this
you
image
watch
so
as she
much.
just drops to her knees. Please, please, and like she's pleading for her life, basically.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly. Just witch, and then just literally just one of those balloon things outside of the used car sales lot, just blowing.
I love it.
Coward
So-
for my amazing.
Okay, so here's what happens, right? Because Tarkhal, that's pretty much your turn, right? Because that's your action. You have to move.
But can I also, because I love this image, ask Mike, because I still get a bonus action, right?
Yeah, you do.
Can I attempt to hide in the same spot that I'm in, just becoming one with the trees? As
You may
Just
do so
glowing.
with disadvantage.
that's fine. We'll take my lowest stealth roll. It's that's a 7 plus 12, so that's 19 versus this was a 6, so 18 is my
18. I mean, it's still pretty good, but maybe Agnes just sees the occasional foot like kick out from behind the tree.
It like looks like
Like
it's
an
the
arm.
tree waving in the wind, but
Yeah.
sometimes there's like a hand sticking
Yeah.
out.
Oh my
I am the
Uh,
shadows.
Greenbones, the hag, groveling, on fire, heavily injured, throws her hands up. Stop! You don't understand. Morgan won't honor your deal. She's gone into the tower. She's stealing the paintings. Let me live and I will help. I have lived too long to be outdone by their treachery. They want my secrets. I will free your friend. I will let you live. I will free the others. But Morgan, do not let her get away with this. She is more conniving than the others.
Send away the hellhound and we'll follow you into the tower.
My boy, I will stop him from harming you, but I will not let him leave my side. She's hugging him like this is her like beloved pet. She's like, no, please, Morty, do not fight them.
Agnes has like a little animated heart in front of her and goes, okay, fine.
I command him not to attack. I see no sense in this.
drop the dance.
Very well. She like throws her hand and you feel the spell just end.
Azara will also call out.
You must
"If you-
hurry. She's
you
trying to
betray
take
us-
the paintings.
The dragon will kill you," and like she'll have him roar, and she'll come out
Yes.
from behind the wall.
Yes, I have. You have injured me more than I have been injured in centuries. I have no desire to die here, and I had likely expect that you do not wish to see your friend cursed forever. You must hurry. Morgan will be in the tower. She's taking the paintings. Either use fire or bring them to me, and I will see them. I will see them undone. The curse will be undone.
If we burn them, the curse will be undone?
Yes, but it must be
Burn
from one
them!
of pure of heart. It must be from one who is of pure of heart.
All of us kind of go,
Azara definitely shakes her head a little bit.
we'll bring them to you. I send Candor to follow the bat.
Okay. Yeah, the candle flies up. And at this point, do you guys just want to start rushing into
Yeah.
the tower?
Yeah, but I'm
you
gonna
notice
have the
that-
dragon watch.
Wait.
Yeah, and
Okay.
like keep it and instruct him like if she moves, fucking kill her.
Okay.
Well, she's
yeah.
leading us in, isn't she?
No,
No,
she's
she's
staying
hanging out
there.
here.
She's like
Oh, okay.
hugging a dog, but like the dragon spirit is raised claws above it,
Yeah.
ready to do something.
Cool.
Alyssa and the kobold, by the way, disappeared from the door in the confusion. You don't know where they've gone, but the bat, as you guys are rushing into the tower and making your way upstairs, Clive kind of leading you up, having seen this room before. Candor flies in, and first of all, the top of the tower seems to be a floor that you haven't seen before. It is filthy, decrepit. You can see that there are 3 beds. one which seems to have almost like bed sheets that seem to be made from animal hides, or hopefully animal hides, some sort of skin or leather or something, it has as bed covers, but it's almost regal and elegant, like a lady's four-poster bed, but it is grim. The bedpost carved into screaming faces. One appears to be more like an animal nest with piles of hay, weasels and insects and rats kind of nesting and messing in it. And then the last one is like a military like bedroll, and covered with spikes and blood and shards of iron and shavings. Like these three very distinct beds with all sorts of trinkets and things scattered around them. There's some sort of shield by the bedroll. You can see a kind of almost like a makeup dresser next to the elegant looking bed. All sorts of manner things. But Candle then goes down. It can hear some sort of noise, and it makes its way down, and leads into a room where you see Morgan back in this kind of hag-like form, pulling these beautiful paintings off of a wall and putting them into what would normally just be a normal looking bag, but the bag seems to take the entire painting in one go, just like sucks it in. And these paintings, the ones that she seems to be loading, one has this epic, strong-looking dragonborn warrior woman with a great weapon, like a great sword in one hand in a field of battle. One seems to be of a youthful dwarf who's dancing and playing the pipes, and she's stuffing them into this bag. And you can see there's a few more still on the walls that she hasn't got in. Candle, go on.
Are we in initiative order?
You guys are just gonna come in a minute. You guys.
I asked because.
Yeah.
As
you want Candle to do something?
Yeah.
Sure, go for it. Yeah.
So as Agnes is kind of, hearing back from
this,
Candor, seeing what's happening, her face lights up and she's like, nothing can be more pure of heart than the pure spirit of fire. And then she tells Candor to cast bonfire under the bag.
Under the bag?
Yeah.
Whoa. Do you wait until all the paintings are in the bag, or are you going to do it with the ones that, because there's 3 on the wall and 2 that she's putting in the bag.
Oh.
So there's like a curved wall, like the curved wall of the tower.
I want to wait until she puts them all in the bag.
Okay, so this happened.
I'm seeing them disappear into the bag, right? Like this is a magic bag.
It's a bag of holding. You can see that she's putting them into a bag of holding.
Agnes has worked a lot with fire. Would I know whether you can burn a bag of holding?
It's difficult. The magic of the bag would protect the contents inside. Technically, the contents inside are in an extra dimensional space. So I think that Agnes would know that maybe the bonfire on the bag wouldn't work, but the paintings on the wall, it can certainly affect. Okay. You can see there are 3. If you take a moment to look through Candor's eyes and see the 3 in the walls, there are 3. One is of an elven priestess of Suni, radiant and resplendent in front of the temple of the Restful Lily, just looking glamorous and beautiful. The other one is of a tiefling man who seems to be white-skinned, like albino tiefling with bright blue eyes, covered in gemstones, tall and imposing, with loads of people surrounding him, looking up to him in admiration. The last one is of Elissa. She looks like this fairy tale knight, just this beautiful but heroic, handsome-looking figure with a woman that looks strikingly like Azara, kind of like kneeled over in like a kind of romantic pose. And it's like this romance novel picturesque cover, like a perfect version of Elissa and Azara in this kind of embraceful moment. You can, I'd say before you guys arrive, you'll have time to ignite one of these paintings. Unless there's another spell which you think can hit all of them.
Candor, looking in through this hole in the ceiling where the bat went, or however I need to get 15 feet close.
Sure, yeah.
We'll go, and a 15-foot cone of burning hands will just take all 3 of them and set the wall on fire.
The Dread Morgan, the hag, looks round at the last moment as the flames coil out of Candor's mouth. No! As the flames just engulf the paintings, and you see them ignite. Go on.
And as she screams at Candor will be like, and try to spit a flame seed into, like, if she was putting a painting in the bag, he's just going to try to catch that painting before she throws it in the bag.
Sure. Roll a d20. No modifier, just roll a d20 for me.
Come on. 10.
10. The flame seed it hits her hand and she drops the bag but doesn't hit the contents inside. And she like clutches her hand from the flames. But the paintings, as soon as they catch fire, the oil bubbles away and there is this green fell looking flame that seems to project from them. You hear screams from these paintings as they melt away and the pictures begin to change. They seem to revert. The the beautiful elven woman becomes a serpentine-like shape, a Medusa, begins to shift and change. You see the tiefling begins to shrink and becomes a kobold being pointed at and laughed at. And Elissa becomes this kind of hunched backed kind of hideous figure with this kind of like wrapped around cloak and boils and warts and all sorts of things all over her face. As the paintings shift and change, they eventually just burn away into nothing. The hag, clutching her hand, snarls at Candor, and then in a swirl of leaves and twigs and insects, teleports away. But the bag remains on the ground. You guys burst in, and you see, in fact, hovering outside the door, you see two figures that you've not seen for a while. Elissa, completely reverted back to her normal self, looking at herself in like amazement, and stood next to her is a little short for a normal tiefling man who is just like looking at himself and is just like, oh, it's done. The curse is undone. And he's like looking around excitedly as you guys burst up. You do still see the shriveled, weakened dragonborn and this really ancient looking dwarf. What has happened? Why them and not us? And you guys make your way up.
I fill in as we're running in. I tell everyone what just happened with Candor. Like, there's 2 paintings left in the bag, but the others are burning.
Azara, knowing that, will like knee slide down to the bag and trying to reach to the bag of holding and try and rip the paintings out.
Yeah, so you bag of holding, you reach in, you think of painting, and you feel something in your hand, and as you pull it out, it is the painting of, let's say, the Dragonborn, this kind of super strong looking Dragonborn, right? It's heavy.
Right.
Azara, because you are a war mage and you know magic, as soon as you touch this thing, you know how evil this painting is.
Yikes.
This canvas is not canvas. This is elven skin that it's been painted on, disguised to look like a painting canvas. Yuck. The wood is seeped with blood. It's tainted red with some sort of blood, the frame of the painting. And the paints themselves smell like demon ichor. They smell like demon fluids and ichor. Looks beautiful, but touching it, you sense how wicked this thing is in your hands.
Azara will put the first painting like against the wall, and then she'll like wrap her hand in her dress to get the second painting, and then we'll reach in and we'll kind of be like,
yep. You pull this one out.
She pulls out the second one.
Yeah. You pull this one out and lay that next to it.
Yeah, and then we'll kind of turn to Candor and Agnis and just hold out her hand like after you.
I'll just if they're both right next to each other, right? Just a quick little bonfire. Just eat those.
From you or from Candor?
Candor, because that worked. So Agnis will start to be like, and then be like, after you.
We'll never know if Agnis is pure of heart.
She's not ready to test it.
Yeah, the spirit ignites the paintings and they both burn away. The same thing happens. All of you see this now, having all made your way up into the tower. You see the actual effect. And as the painting burns, the Dragonborn woman, her muscles begin to swell and grow. She seems to stand up tall and straighter, and the dwarf begins to de-age to around maybe middle-aged dwarf. Still a little bit kind of gray in the beard, but much, much younger than they previously were just a few moments ago. And they too begin to look at themselves just like, I don't believe it. The curse. Hey, the curse is undone. We're free. And they kind of all look around each other. Elissa is looking directly at the floor and is just like covering her like face with her hand and just looks thoroughly embarrassed, completely ashamed.
Azara will kind of look around at everyone and be like, I hate to break up this incredible, heartwarming curse ending, but we should check to see if the priestess is still stone or if she's been freed from that curse as well.
We should bring the bag of holding. That could come in handy.
That could also come in handy. And it's proper payment for freeing this beautiful spa of 2 of 3 hags.
And maybe we could just purge the inside with fire.
That's fair. That's also fair.
The tiefling is like, my dear, purge this floor and the one above it. Only wicked, disgusting things have existed in this place. Thank you once again. But yes, attend to the. I'm assuming it was the previous owner of the temple, the woman of the painting, the elven priestess. Yes, we must attend to him. We must make sure that she's free of the same curse.
So I let everyone file out, and I'm like, shall I?
After you.
I set a bonfire in the middle of the floor and just kind of stoke it, and then walk away.
Yeah, the tower begins to crackle and burn, and we'll let that do. When you guys come outside, Azara, you can see that your dragon spirit has gouged sections of the earth out and is trying to fight something that is no longer there.
Damn it.
Gone. You do see shreds of bark skin. Like, in fact, actually, I mentioned that her arm had nearly been like ripped off. The arm is there, but there's no other body.
I'm gonna pick up the arm and put it in the bag of holding.
Okay. And please note down.
I was going to suggest the same thing.
Hag arm. Yeah.
Let me just check in with Clive and Tarkhal. Is there anything you guys want to do? Because I want to make sure that you guys have an opportunity, like if there's anything you wanted to specifically do or say or check out while all of that was going on, or...
There's no immediate threats to combat at this point, is there?
You don't see any, no. When you come back outside, that hag is gone. The other hag you didn't see. Only Kandor actually saw that whole thing, so Agnis saw it. But yeah, you don't see any immediate threats.
Then I'm good.
Yeah, same. I was just gonna ask if we're gonna leave Greensong alive as we were walking out of the tower, but obviously she's gone.
She's gone. Yeah. Cool. White text friend, if you can just put in the Discord, like, I want to check on time. I think we've got like 10 minutes or so left, but I just want to check in on stuff because we did have a bit of a chat. So yeah, so what do you guys do? Do you guys go to the shrine? Like, what's the plan? What's the next step here?
Yeah, I think if Azara suggested that, we should.
Yeah, I'll follow Azara.
Yeah, when you guys make your way down into the sacred pool beneath the shrine, the statue is still stone and does still look like a Medusa. I think that the because it was petrified, it remains petrified as it was there. I don't think while it's petrified, the form would change. But yeah, the petrification is its own thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are ways to undo petrification. Azara would probably know that, and Agnis, I think, as well. There are, spells. Greater Restoration will undo petrification. Who knows?
Is there any other? The Naiad said that
maybe the water spirit could.
Yeah.
Maybe you have to drag this statue from this temple.
I was gonna say Azara would turn to Clive and say, "Clive, how strong do you think Clive of the Wildmane truly is?"
Are you looking to find out?
I am looking to find out. Do you think, now, mind you, we can help if need be, do you think we could transport this darling statue here over to the spa?
Can I just try to, pick it up?
Yeah, I think Clive's strong enough. I think that, it's exhausting. I think that, by the end of carrying this thing all the way into the bathhouse, because you have to go an awkward way through the temple. Or actually, no, you busted a window. You could probably just climb up in there. It's probably going to be very tiring. I think that, Clive might have, a level of exhaustion after this, but there's no immediate threat, right? As long as you take your time, you should be okay.
Just dragging it Clive of the Wildmane.
And then you have to pick it up to get her up the stairs. And because it's a Medusa, right? She's got this long, thick, snake-like tail. So that's where most of the weight is, and you're dragging it up as you go. But yeah,
Clive somehow found a Velcro back brace around his waist.
Yeah,
just trying to move it.
And just carrying on his back. While you guys are doing this, the others in Alyssa, the figures that you helped free from the curse, they just do not stop thanking you. This tiefling goes up and he's just like, I must know your names. Wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm Glitter, Glitter of Waterdeep, of Glitter's glorious gemstones. Wonderful. What is your name, my good lady? And he's going up to Azara, your name, please.
Oh, I'm Azara Mithras, but please meet the wonderful royals who have saved your lives. And she's like trying to like really pump up Eveningstar while we're here.
Of course. Royals from Cormier by your appearance. Wonderful to meet you. Glitter of Glitter's glorious gemstones of Waterdeep. I cannot thank you enough. I've been but a short victim of these creatures, illusions and trickery. The other companions here have suffered longer than I, but it was torturous. I cannot thank you enough. The hardships we've endured, you've freed us from what I feel would have been a life of misery. Thank you.
Well, you are welcome anytime in Eveningstar. We would certainly love to.
I will make sure I construct something to mark this occasion. I will have something created and perhaps sent, or I shall bring it myself. In thanks.
You mentioned gemstones?
Yes, I'm a jeweler. I'm a jeweler in by trade.
We, as you can see, sometimes have need of diamonds when we fall. If you ever have any that you think you might be able to part with at a reasonable price, we would be so happy to patronize your shop.
Well, I do prefer to create works of art rather than components. But yes, of course, anything for the service that you have done. Of course, yes. I'm sure that something could be arranged, without a doubt. Most certainly. Thank you once again. Please allow my companions to thank you themselves as well. The dragonborn woman will stand forward and she places one hand, probably sort of trying to think of like a gesture that they might do. Yeah, like one hand kind of across her chest, and she bows deeply. I am Gorba Dardarian of. I cannot thank you enough, as our companion Glitter has said. I was taken in by these creatures long ago, and I have suffered greatly, especially at the hands of. And she looks to the body of Saza, that one in particular. I would like to know who finished her off.
Tarkhal like awkwardly raises a hand, but he does like that thing with his arms, like he's finishing his dance. I slayed the witch.
She comes up to you, looks, and she's tall. She's like 7 feet tall, big bulging muscles, no armor. She's wearing like basically what she was wearing before, like this kind of Hessian sack, but you can see these like huge, and she just places like a clawed palm in front of her, cuts her hand, like grips it and lets the blood sit for a moment. By this blood, if ever I can repay this favor, if you have an enemy that must be slain, by the honor of the Dardarian clan, I will honor it.
Cool.
Tarkhal of Cormier. And then she holds the hand out for you to shake, like with the smeared blood.
Yeah, Tarkhal will take it for sure.
Yeah, you get like blood on your hand, so like her blood kind of smears over yours, and then she wipes it across her face, leaving like this streak of blood over her muzzle.
Very cool.
Send for me. I work mainly as a mercenary. I mainly lived around the Sword Coast, but if you have need of me, send for me and I will come.
We will. Thank you.
She just nods her head. And lastly, I think that young Master Farthrax here, and this dwarf kind of shuffles over. You can see that his robes, he kind of wears like scholar's robes, right? And there's this big symbol of a book on an amulet. And he looks over and he's like, oh, yes, I'm afraid that I don't have any riches as Master Glitter or strength of arms to offer as Gorba does. But as an acolyte of Candlekeep, if there's ever knowledge that you seek or you desire entry into the great halls of the library, this is my offer that I can make in repayment for what you've done. I came here on a fool's errand thinking that my youth could be rediscovered, but I thank you greatly. I'll appreciate what I have now, I think, but I'm afraid all I can offer is knowledge and books.
I look excitedly at Azara at the mention of this library.
Azara curtsies and she'll say, as young royals and as we are magisters and mages, we would be humbly honored to access your libraries. And I'm sure in our many adventures to come, we will have need of the more hard to find texts, and possibly if you have access to scrolls or...
Of course. Candlekeep is the greatest library in Faerun. If there is ever knowledge that you seek within our halls, you will find it. Of that I can assure you.
Well, this has been an interesting spa experience, and hopefully we can return this place back to its former glory. And she kind of like looks at the giant snake statue sitting in the water.
so yeah, I think that as that conversation happens, this is where like Clive pulls it into the bathhouse. Cyrena, the naiad, kind of like excitedly pops up out of the water like, I've sensed they've gone. The hags have gone. You've done it. You've gotten rid of them.
Somewhat. Two escaped. One very...
They're not here now. That's what's important.
True.
And then she sees the statue. Silvari. Oh, bring her into the waters. And she kind of like parts the waters a little bit so you can drag the statue in.
As he like just had it settled, it's like, bring her in. Put the back brace back on.
Yep. Drag her down into the thing, and then the waters, the Cyrena the Naiad allows them to spill back in. And you watch as the waters touch the stone, they kind of surround it. You begin to see just pale blue and green light forming cracks along the stone. It begins to flake off like a serpent molting, shedding its skin. And where there was a tail, it is now hollow. Instead, a pair of slender elven legs seem to be in their place. And as the top breaks free, still clad in this ragged, almost half-torn, leaving herself quite exposed, this elven priestess kind of emerges with a gasp. And she kind of like clutches herself to her chest, feeling the water. Cyrena? The pool. How did I... Cyrena, the hags, they're not dryad. And she's like looking around in surprise. Just, how long have I? She just seems to be stunned, not sure where she is or what has happened.
Does she seem injured or just shocked? Okay.
Just shocked.
I think this whole time also, as all of the victims have been thanking us, I think Candor has kind of been flitting between them and like perching on shoulders and kind of like giving little pet kisses, like trying to be like, I'm happy you're back, because Candor ultimately was the one who freed them.
Who freed them? Well, I think they think that Candor is just like a spell that you've conjured, right? They just think that Candor's a spell. The Dragonborn is a bit sort of like undeterred by it. But the dwarf, Falthrax, and Glitter especially, Glitter is just like, oh, aren't you just a little darling? And he's very sort of happy with this thing. And the dwarf seems quite happy as well. Elissa, by the way, is just following behind, not speaking, but will not look at any of you. It's just like head down, just like following. So very ashamed. But yeah, Silvari is kind of emerging from the waters and is like blinking and seems very confused.
The reason I bring that up is I think at that point Candor would kind of go over to her and like kind of nestle into her neck, and Agnis would kind of take her arm and try to soothe her.
She flinches like when you take the arm, like unexpectedly, like, and she looks at you and you can see that there's this deep hurt there. There's like a mistrust, and like she's afraid. Like she looks like, are you real? Are you? And then she like touches your face like, you are no illusion. You are no trick. And she like cups your face in her hands, and she just cries. She just lets out these big wailing sobs and just buries her face. And it's hard because you can see that she's clearly like this mature, very like elderly, like an older elf. Like she's way older than you guys. But she is just, there's something that's happened, and she just lets out these big, heaving sobs, and you hear like, I'm so sorry, Suni, I'm so sorry, just kind of running over and over. But eventually she kind of pulls herself together and just like...
Agnis has tears in her eyes too, as she's like crying on her shoulder. Agnis is breaking as well.
I have you to thank for undoing what they did to me.
Oh, not me, all of us, and Candor.
Thank you. How much do you know of what happened here, of who they were?
I look at Azara. What do we know?
We know enough. We know that 3 hags have settled in, or had settled in, and unfortunately seem to have tricked you. And Azara kind of like wades into the water and takes off one of her layers of like flowy like dress stuff and puts it over her shoulders.
He kind of takes it very gratefully and says, I wish that tricked was so simpler thing to say. They did not trick me. They, perhaps their intentions, this curse, their forms, yes, but the vanity which caused my transformation was my own making. It was a punishment from my goddess for not being faithful, for not trusting in her.
Azara will kind of shush her and stop her, and she'll go, you were tricked. Your insecurities were preyed on, and that is not fair to you. You have not betrayed your goddess. And she'll kind of like show her that she also prays to a goddess, and she'll tell her, Suni is waiting for you. You cannot have such little faith in your faith that you think that she would abandon you or purposefully punish you because you want shinier eyes or less wrinkly skin. Suni is not about that. And you know it in your heart to be true. And she kind of like tries to do the cupped hands thing to raise her head.
She's in tears again. Like you can see, like looking
she'll
into
like wipe
yours,
away
like,
her eyes.
Yeah, she just like looks at you and you probably in Elven, she says like, thank you, sister. Like, you know, as like elf to elf kind of thing. She's just like, thank you, sister.
Agnis also, like, if you were to look at Agnis as Azara was giving this speech, Agnis kind of wells up, and you can see she kind of feels like that's being said to her too, and a little bit of emotion.
And a little to Alyssa. She says it loud enough.
Yeah.
And that's like, look, yeah, you see tears in like Alyssa's eyes as well, kind of like as she's looking away. And I think that like we, you know, to not, unless there's anything you guys want to say, you know, there's time where things are explained to everybody, things are relieved. It turns so, and when you kind of step out of the bath, Sylvari wants to see what's happened and see the temple and things like that. You find a couple of things. First of all, the other guests, the halfling woman that Clive had made friends with, the drow masseuse, the little gnome, all are completely out cold. They're like lying in the lounge, and it looks like they are asleep, as if they had just fallen asleep in their positions, completely knocked out. You can see that there are drinks, like there are empty glasses of some sort of drink that have been scattered around. And they are just, they don't wake when you enter. They're just like completely out cold when you arrive.
Can I investigate the drinks?
Oh, yeah. And you can make a nature check, make a medicine check for sure. Anybody can if you want to investigate this stuff.
I critted it.
Oh, this was poisoned. This is like some sort of sleeping potion or narcotic to like knock these people out and just render them completely helpless.
Agnis looks really cool because she picks up a glass and does some sort of detective thing, like a little pinky and a taste, and she's like, sleeping potion. I'd bet my life on it.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, you find out that those guys have been knocked out. But yeah, there's no sign of Saith. You find no sign of any of the other spa resort people. The place is abandoned apart from the guests and now these people that you've found here. I think as you move around, the people that you freed, like the Dragonborn, Gorber and stuff, this place, it will need some people to look after it until others can be found. Tarkhal, I will remain here. If you need me, I think I will remain here until things have been settled. If those things return, I will make sure that they pay the price for what they did to us. You see, she kind of grits her teeth, and you begin to see she's I believe that she's gold dragon, so flames are like coiling in her mouth when she speaks.
Agnis is jealous.
Yeah, the dwarf kind of rubs his hands. I'm afraid that I'll be needed back in Candlekeep. There's not much I can do, but perhaps I can send word for some acolytes of Suni. Miss Sylvari, is it the author of the book? My book? Yes. Is that what brought you here? Yes. I found a copy in the library and began visiting this place. But there are acolytes that I can send word for, people in the temples. I'm sure that they would be delighted to know that such a place exists and that there is great work still to be done here. If you would have them, of course. Yes. That would be comforting. Thank you, Master Dwarf.
I still have the copy of the book that I got from my dad, right?
You do, yeah.
I produce it and I hand it to Sylvari, and I'm like,
She's like,
this brought us here.
I made these long ago. I wanted to share the things that Suni had taught me and the wisdom, but I met... there was a very powerful enchantress that I was close to, and she offered to inscribe this enchantment to bring people here as a way to help them access the temple. You should keep it if you ever wish to return to this place. I know that it may hold some bad memories, but if you ever require peace, I hope that the temple can become that again. And she'll just hand the book back to you.
I kind of look at the mirror and I look at her and I go, did you intend for it to imply that people should change themselves?
I think that it is a problem with the enchantment in that the mirror can only answer questions that you ask it. If you ask it, what would make me pretty? What would make me feel better? It will speak to you honestly. The teachings of Suni, of this place, it's never that you must change. It is that if change will make you happy, indulge it. But only if it will bring you true happiness. Only if you want to better yourself. You do not ever need to change. We are all beautiful in every way that we all are, but there is nothing wrong with wanting to have nice hair or nice clothes or nice skin. These are indulgences. These are comforts, things that make us feel better about ourselves. That is what the book is supposed to teach, but the enchantment is not always as clear as I would have liked it.
Agnes will kind of like look into the middle distance and repeat, the mirror can only answer questions that you ask it. Thank you. And she'll take the book back and stow it away.
I cannot thank you enough, all of you, for what you've done here. If there is anything at all that I can do, or questions that you may have, please ask. But you are always welcome to return.
I think it'll be a little while before we come back here, but we are glad that we could help.
Thank you.
When we do return, if massages are still available, I'm sure we wouldn't say no.
And unlike perhaps unlike those who became caretakers of this place, the Temple of the Restful Lily is not here to make gold. It is here to offer these services. Donations are, of course, always welcome, but when you return, whatever services you require will be available to you. I think that it will be my way of making things up to Suni and to those who have been wronged by this place. I'm afraid that there may be more victims of these hags than those that we found here. I know that such creatures often deal with other foul things, devils, creatures of the Feywild. But still, I hope that we do not encounter them ever again. She will just sort of leave you to it. And unless there's anything you guys want to do, the book will open up a portal back to where you came from. It does take 30 days for this book to recharge the ability to transport you. So it takes a month for it to regain its ability to transport you. But it can take you back to Cormyr. The very last thing will just be, as you are kind of leaving, you hear a kind of very faint cough from Alyssa. And she just kind of says, I'm very sorry to have caused you trouble, and I'm very thankful for undoing what they did to me. Did any of you see my painting? And she's looking at all of you. Like, she's trying to see, she's like looking nervously, and especially at Azara.
Azara didn't see it, right?
No, only Agnis saw it.
Oh, and Clive.
Clive did see it. Yes, Clive did see it. Oh, yeah, he did. Yes, you're right.
But he didn't
Clive
see it
went in the
after
room.
it changed. He saw it only when it was pretty.
Yes,
Yeah.
he only saw it when it was pretty. Yeah. So but Clive did see what he did see her transformed form as well.
I'll kind of just put my hand on her arm and say, it could have just as easily been any one of us. Please don't worry. And your painting, Candor made sure it will never be seen again.
I'm gonna make an intelligence check. I rolled a natural 20. She looks at Agnis, goes bright red because she realizes that if Candor has seen it, it means Agnis has seen it, and she just very gently squeezes your hand. Thank you, my lady, and just nods.
I share a conspiratorial like, "Don't worry, I got you, fam."
Yeah. And,
Meanwhile, Zara's just kind of like looking off, like, when are they going to be done talking?
Yeah.
I want to get back. So
Yeah.
we're going to get back to Eveningstar. And yeah, I think that unless there's anything else, we make our way back to Eveningstar. Dusk and the others all welcome you back. And I think, do you know what? Because I always like leaving on a cliffhanger. When you get back to Eveningstar, you return to your beds. You return to the soft comforts, One-Eyed King, Sarah
give him
Lee, all of
scritches.
familiar faces, Dusk. Tarkhal sleeps. He begins to hear a familiar elven voice and song drifting through his mind. And from the mists of his dream, Willow Song arrives. Tarkhal, my love. But there's something a little different. There's something in her eyes that Tarkhal, you don't see, but we, the audience, see. And it's that for the first time, as she leans in and wraps her arms around Tarkhal and holds him close in this dream, I've missed you. She looks up into the mists, and we see her eyes flicker and become draconic.
I knew it! I knew it!
In season 3.
I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! I knew it!
Tarkhal doesn't know it. He's in love.
I knew it!
Good for him.
Good for him, right?
For him.
There can
Yeah.
only be one dragon here, you nasty bitch.
Oh my God. That's my
Fucking
girlfriend.
kill you. I'll fucking kill you.
When none of your crew likes your girlfriend.
Hey, Clive thinks she's great. All right, he hasn't even met her.
Clive gets to kill her. He's gonna have a fun time.
He's a bro. He says, "Go ahead."
I couldn't resist it. I'm
knew it.
sorry. I'm
I
sorry.
knew
I
it.
had to. I can't not have a cliffhanger on a season.
But you,
That was
but
a
you
good
just, you
It's
just
But I
spicy.
just. But
Spicy.
what?
can't.
What?
Can't Tarkhal just have nice things? Like he
He
got
does
some.
have nice things.
First
he
he looks
will
cool,
after his
and then you make him
girlfriend's
dance
dead.
like a fool. Now he's got a girlfriend, but she's evil. I mean,
What? Whoa! Who's saying the E word?
my sister and my friend are saying she's evil.
What? That's you take that up
Straight
with
evil.
them. You don't bring that on me. I've given you wonderful things.
I mean, he
I've given
only
you
did
lovely
Maleficent
things.
hardcore, going as the green mist swirls around him. But who said evil? Who said
Poison.
evil?
That's always good.
Well, okay, if she does end up being a baddie, can you give her Voldemort's laugh in the last movie, where he goes like, "Ah!" That's what I want her laugh to be if she's evil.
The boy who lived. Anyway, that's it. Thank you very much for joining us for season 3. Thank you for playing through. Thank you guys, for playing through my Candlekeep Mysteries adventure. and
Well
letting me
written, sir.
Run that.
Oh, well
Thank you very much.
written.
It was very good. It just kept getting better. Like it
Yeah.
started out, like spa, casual, and then it was just like, oh, I'm getting into this, and killed a witch.
There's lots
Mhm. Great.
of, and it's meant to be one of those things where lots of different things can happen. Like, I've definitely changed it. Like the book is there. Don't feel you have to run it exactly as the adventure says. I actually changed a few things. I leveled some of the enemies up. I actually didn't reveal as much information as the book says you can. I had like certain characters like not reveal certain things, just so it kind of kept the mystery a bit longer. Little things like that. But yeah, I hope that if you check out the book, if you want a lovely spa episode for your D&D campaign, send them to the Temple of the Restful Lily. It's a wonderful place with wonderful people. And
Nothing
you can
could
have some
go
fun
wrong.
times. Nothing could go wrong. But thank you guys. Thank you for playing for it. Thank you for watching. Let's do some last shout outs for the season. And then we'll see you later. Who wants to start?
You start.
You start.
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
I'll start.
Oh.
You start.
You start.
No, Mark start.
Mark start. It
Right,
almost
okay.
rhymes.
Mark
All right.
start.
Thank you very much. You can check me out on Sherlock_Hulmes, pretty much everywhere on the internet, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, all that stuff. But the main thing is please go check out High Rollers D&D. That's my other big D&D show. It's a UK-based live stream show. We stream every Sunday at 5 p.m. UK time. That's 9 a.m. Pacific. What better way to start your Sunday morning than a bunch of British people playing D&D? Very epic high-level campaign at the moment. Come and check that out. You can also obviously see me here on it. I also recently just did a DM panel on the Wizards YouTube page with Satine Phoenix, Griffin McElroy, and oh God, I can never. Is it Brand? This is where I'm failing at names, and I don't want to get it wrong because I'm a dummy. Brandy Camel. That's what I was trying to remember the exact name. It was like I had it in my head as like Dandy Bramble or like Brandy Camel. I want to get this right. So with DM's community, D&D's community lead Brandy Camel, me, Satine Phoenix, Griffin McElroy. It's a really, really good chat. If you want to kind of get advice about DMing, I actually really recommend it. We talk about some really cool stuff. That's it from me. High Rollers D&D. Check it out. Thanks, fam. I tag Mica.
Oh, gosh. Hi, I'm Mica Burton. You can find me pretty much everywhere on the internet at Mica Burton. But if you want to see me horseback riding, you can go to Instagram at Mica Strides, or you can see my dog, who is very cute, on Instagram at Reenie's Wild Shape. Also, stuff to go check out. We released our summer 2021 episode of Critter Hug. So please go check out this most recent episode of Critter Hug on the Critical Role YouTube channel or any of the previous ones. It is just good vibes. It's Matt and I being chaotic. I bring up Dunkachino, so you know it's going to be a good time or a bad time. Last time I mentioned Human Centipede. Who knows what's going to happen next season?
Bad time.
I'm such a bad time. Anyway, I tag Shady.
Hi guys, I'm ShadyPenguinn. I want to shout out to the viewers for watching with your eyes. I want to shout out to the listeners for listening with your ears. I want to shout out to Mark for DMing a great season that really got me going, especially towards the end. Thank you, Wizards, for letting us do this. It really means a lot. We'll see you guys in season 4. I have literally nothing else to say to you. Go away. Actually, wait, there's other people shouting. Don't go away yet. I tag Anna.
Gee, thanks. I am at Anna Prosser everywhere. You can find my cute dog at Happy Nizki on Instagram and on Twitter. You can find more about me at annaprosser.com. And if you're looking for a host or a producer, hit me up there. Also, if you like to show off your TTRPG fantasy inspired style, don't forget to check out cantripbrand.com. Nate is wearing our Everyday Magic olive long sleeve tee, looking great. And there are only a few of our limited edition polyhedral spell circle bombers with rose gold hardware and embroidered detail available on that site. Only a few left.
Super dope.
Super dope.
And I want to echo the thanks, all of you who continue to watch this show and show that you like it and comment on it on social media and things. That's why we get to keep doing it. So please keep it up. We appreciate it very much. Thanks to Mark for writing that adventure and letting us play it. And I feel so like we just got a drop of wisdom. The mirror can only answer questions that you ask it. Like, I feel like that's a really important thing that we all need to remember. Anyway,
okay.
No, that's so true.
Isn't it? Like, look, you can look in the mirror all day, but unless you're asking the right questions, you'll never know how you need to change.
It's
That's
true.
a Mark.
Wise. So
Mark's
wise.
like, taking notes.
I'm Uncle Iroh wise. That's how wise I am.
Nate.
Hi. First, the same thing everyone else said. Thanks everyone for watching. Thank you, Mark, for a fantastic season. As for me, I'm going on tour starting really, really soon. NateWantsToBattle.com/tour. Seattle and New York are sold out. A few other shows are getting close to that. So come watch some IRL content. Watch it be made in person. And that's it for me.
I'm going to watch it. I can't wait to watch it IRL.
I wish I could watch it IRL.
Just fly to America.
I'll be there in spirit. I'll project my spirit there and look down upon everyone with my great wisdom that I came up with wise sayings on the spot like that. Sure.
Sage Mark, take us out.
Sage Mark, yeah, sage mode. Thank you so much, everybody. That's it from us. Take care. Big love. Keep playing D&D. Be awesome. Love each other. All that good stuff. We'll see you for season 4. Take care. Bye-bye.